Welcome to the Caregiver Hour on 1250 WINS WHNZ, offering support for those who care for a loved one. A show that cares about you and supports and encourages you, the caregiver. Here's your host, Kim Linder.
Hello and welcome, my friends, to the Caregiver Hour radio show. Happy Monday. I hope that you're doing well. And if you aren't, perhaps after listening to this show and feeling connected to our wonderful positive message today, you will feel better. We hope so. That certainly is our intention. The show is about the positive effects of mindfulness and how that relates to caregivers. And that's so important because as we are involved in our caregiver journey, either we have been a caregiver or we are a caregiver or we will be again, because sometimes we're a caregiver more than once in our lives. And this show is really about helping to remind you, helping you to connect to the idea that there are resources out here for you, that there is a way to have the balance in your life. You don't have to be so depleted in order to caregive. We want you to be able to nourish yourself, balance yourself, rejuvenate yourself. And that's all part of our conversation today. I'm so excited with the guests we're having today. It's not a medical doctor. It's not an elder law attorney. These are two people who are connected to the art of mindfulness. And it's different. And we're so excited to be bringing it here to the Tampa Bay area to our caregivers. But this show is really listened universally, and we're so grateful. So many people email me and connect with me through our website to let us know how important this show is for them as they go on this caregiving journey. And they also say thank you so much. They show a lot of gratitude, and I'm so grateful for that as well, that we are reaching out, we are connecting, and we are helping people have more balance in their lives, realize that, you know what, I am allowed to go to a support group. I'm allowed to take a day off and have respite for my loved one. I'm allowed not to be there 24/7 every day of the year. So we certainly want you to have the information and resources and guidance for your loved ones, but we also want you to circle back and also have that balance and that information for you as well. And the art of the positive effects of mindfulness is a great way to kind of make some shifts in your life. Maybe you've been hard on yourself. Maybe you felt guilty. Maybe you feel that there's more that you should do. This mindfulness will really help you. We're going to articulate that and help you really come to terms with what feels right for you and when it feels maybe not so right and what to do about that. If you have any questions, we invite you to call us toll free right now while the show is live at 1-877-897-8255. Or if you're watching us live web stream, welcome to that part of our show. We're so excited to be here and having you actually watch us so that you can connect with us maybe even on a deeper level. And you can actually go to our website, thecaregiverhour.com, and look for the radio show, and the archive the radio web stream is happening right now. And you can do an iChat if you have a question. So many of our caregivers have done that as well. And our audience really is a mix of professional and family caregivers, because even as professional caregivers, there are times, and we have a tendency to just give, and do, and not really pull back and be more mindful about what our next step really needs to be in our journey. Our guests today are Amanda Owen, author of Born to Receive. Isn't that a great title? I love that, and she's going to talk about that. And Michael Whalen, he is local. He is an MA LMHC counselor, coach, and consultant at Mindful Solutions. And I've been friends with Michael for a few years now, and he has been on the radio show, but it's also been a while. So we're so thrilled to have him back here today as well. There's another number I want you to have, and this is a number that is your go-to number when you have a question for your role as a caregiver. And that is my caregiver resource helpline. And I am the caregiver coach on that helpline, but there are so many wonderful experts who actually are there for you right away, and you can connect with them directly. That toll-free number is 1-877-552-4950. This is a number you want to have very easily accessible so that you don't have to hunt in your wallet or hunt in your bag or hunt in your maybe your backpack. You want to have this so available for you because sometimes you get a call instantly and you become a caregiver and you weren't even expecting it. Maybe it's someone at work who's been a caregiver and you've been listening to their story and feeling very compassionate about what they're going on, and all of a sudden you get that call and you want to have this number. Again, it's 1-877 552-4950. You can ask us questions about what kind of assisted living and maybe you need to consider. What are the different types of doctors that I could actually consider as I care for my loved one and also care for myself. There's a balance issue. Maybe there's some falling happening or just some stumbling. That could be something you want to look at sooner rather than later. You want to talk to your primary physician, but you also may want to talk to someone who has a balanced institute or a chiropractor. There is so many resources available for you on our website. Again, if you're just tuning in, we're talking today about the positive effects of mindfulness, and our website is thecaregiverhour.com, and you can watch us live right now. If you miss anything at any time, everything is recorded. We have podcasts on the website as well as an archive. So I want to take this now right to bringing Michael on. I'm so thrilled to have you here today, Michael. So welcome back to the Caregiver Hour radio show.
Thank you, Kim. It's my pleasure to be here, and I'm very grateful to be here today.
So I'm glad you're grateful, but there's a lot been going on for you. So why don't we do a little catch up now? Because there's so many people out there who do know you. So let's them help you feel a bit connected to what you're doing now.
Okay, great. Thank you. Yes. Well, I'm currently doing private practice.
Okay.
In my office in St. Petersburg through DayQuest Services, and I've been teaching mindfulness classes. I'm also speaking at the Aging Well Center in Clearwater and appearing live on Kim's show.
Yes, it's very exciting. I just want to fix your mic for 1 second, Michael.
Okay.
So when you're talking, you want to be right there.
Okay.
Okay.
Very good.
Now we can hear you and see you.
All right.
That's the gift. So tell us about some of the workshops that you're doing, Michael.
Well, I'm doing mindfulness classes. They're 8-week long classes, 7 hour-and-a-half classes during the week, and followed up by a all-day meditation retreat.
That sounds lovely. And is that all done here in the St. Pete area?
Yes, I'm doing it in St. Petersburg, and I've also been doing it in Mid-County and North County as well.
Of Pinellas.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Let's just talk about what is mindfulness.
Okay.
So why don't you give us the broad term?
Well, mindfulness, if we just take it and think about the broad term, it really is just about being in the present moment, being aware of the present moment, and approaching it from a non-judgmental position, just being aware of whatever is happening in the moment, paying bare attention.
So really having your eyes open, having your mind focused on what's in front of you. Sometimes we know that we drive and we're like, I don't even know how I got to Publix today because we're just so on automatic and we're thinking about so many things.
Oh, yeah, it's the autopilot.
Yeah.
We're on autopilot.
I'm not being so mindful.
Yeah.
I'm watching the traffic, but my mind's somewhere else, too.
Well, I think that's a great analogy, and that's what we do a lot of the times. Our minds are so busy. We're so busy thinking. We're planning for the future. We're remembering the past. We're having conversations that haven't happened yet. We're getting ready for this or that. And what's happening is that we're missing out on the present moment, what's really happening. So we've become very thought-centered. Mm. And really, we're beings that exist in our bodies as well as our minds. And so mindfulness is a way of allowing our bodies to, using our bodies to connect with the present moment.
You know, that's really nice because sometimes what I have to do, I actually have to look up at the sky or look at the scenery to start getting connected again to the present moment.
That's a beautiful way to do it.
Okay.
It really is. And one of the simplest things that people can do, that you can do, is to take a breath. Mm. And breathing is the connection to the present moment. It can only happen one place, and that's right here and right now. And the magic of mindfulness is it's not trying to create calmness, but it does. Mm-hmm. It's what it's doing, though, is creating an opportunity for us to be more tolerant with whatever is coming up for us in the moment. So this is how it can be very important for caregivers. who can find themselves in really stressful situations, difficult situations, frustrating situations, as well as joyful situations.
We're going to come right back to that after our break, and I want to introduce you to Amanda Owen as well. So if you've just tuned in, we want you to stay with us. This is Kim Linder. You're listening to the Caregiver Hour on 1250 WINS WHNZ.
I'm Mike Lavoie with Beacon Asset Management. While 30 years of experience in financial services may have prepared me to be a certified financial planner, no amount of planning could have prepared me for the stress of being a caregiver. The financial planning my dad and I did when my mother became ill made caring for her bearable. At Beacon, we are committed to helping you take care of your financial needs so you can take care of your loved ones. Give us a call at 813-269-0732. 813-269-0732.
You may have a loved one or know someone who suffers with depression, anxiety, grief due to loss, or other mental health concerns. Perhaps they struggle with substance abuse, an addiction, or have a co-occurring condition. There is help. The choice is yours. North Tampa Behavioral Health offers a peaceful therapeutic setting for effective treatment towards recovery. Choose North Tampa Behavioral Health so your loved one can start living again. Call 813-922-3300.
Caregivers, are you worried about mom or dad needing more care? How do you know when it's time to get help? Since 2004, Harmony Home Health has helped seniors in Tampa Bay find joy in their journey. You'd be amazed at how just a little bit of care can go a very long way. From just once in a while to every day of the week, your loved ones experience independence, safety, and dignity wherever they call home, and your whole family experiences harmony. With Harmony Home Health, you are not alone. You can trust their family to take care of yours. Call 727-723-7532 or visit their website at harmonyhh.com/Kim.
Caring for an elderly parent or a loved one with special needs can be challenging, stressful, and frustrating. If you need help finding the best professionals in the field of home care, legal advice, integrated practitioners, respite care, or a great support group, call the Caregiver Helpline at 1-877-552-4950. That's 1-877-552-4950. It's a free service provided by the Caregiver Resource Network. Call 1-877-552-4950 or go to thecaregiverhour.com.
Injured in a car accident or suffering from back and joint pain for a while? Clearly, you need to see a doctor. Call Dr. Ben, a chiropractor with 25 years experience. He listens, he cares, he gets results. His common sense approach? Coaching patients to be self-sufficient and less doctor-dependent. Let's face it, there are many things you can do to improve your health. Call Dr. Ben at 727-488-8044. Mention the Caregiver Hour radio show for a free examination. 727-488-8044. Dr. Ben, your coach to better health. 727-488-8044.
It's the Caregiver Hour on 1250 WINS WHNZ with encouragement, guidance, and support for caregivers. Here's your host, Kim Linder.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Caregiver Hour radio show. We hope that you've started your day off in a beautiful way, but if you haven't, we're the best place for you to come to learn how to feel positive about your journey as caregivers and using this beautiful tool called Mindfulness. So if you just tuned in, welcome. And we want to let you know our guests today are Michael Whalen. Michael Whalen is a counselor, coach, and consultant at Mindful Solutions here in the Tampa Bay area. But we also have Amanda Owen. And Amanda was on this show probably 3 years ago. She's the author of Born to Receive. So, Michael, we're just going to finish we just started a conversation about mindfulness and caregiving. And can you do a really short little clip about that? Because then I want to introduce you to Amanda.
Sure. What I think is really important for folks to understand, for any caregiver to understand about mindfulness, is it really is about just plugging into what is happening right now and allowing for the fact that things can change and things are changing all the time. So when I come to see mom or dad, it's not mom or dad who I saw yesterday who might not have been in a good mood. I need to give, or I'm able to give, mom or dad the chance to be in the present moment and to be changing from one moment to the next. There's a really nice acronym for that, and it's called COAL, C-O-A-L, being curious, open, accepting, and loving of everything that's happening in the present moment. So that's really increasing tolerance. It's creating opportunity for things to happen, to be surprising, and to be able to live with the difficulties that might arise. because I am in mindfulness practice. When you're practicing mindfulness, you're setting aside time so that you can notice whatever's coming up, be aware of it, and let it go and return to the breath. Now, that's during the practice. But then
Right.
you take that out into whatever you're doing.
Okay. So that sounds fantastic. And I'm very visual. So when you speak, I'm like getting the whole visual. But I want to bring on Amanda Owen. So, Amanda, welcome to the Caregiver Hour radio show.
Hi, I'm very happy to be here.
Good. It's been a while, hasn't it?
It has. I think it's been a couple of years.
Yes. And you when we first had you on, you were an author of one book, and now it looks like you've created another book.
Yes. I guess we spoke right after my book, The Power of Receiving, came
Yes.
out. And then I really thought I had said all I had to say on the subject. And then
Yeah.
it turned out a couple of years later I had not.
Well, congratulations. I'm really
Thank
happy
you.
for you. And I'm so thrilled to have you here today. And, just Michael and I reconnecting, and then your book arrived, and I was like, this is just a perfect fit. This is just kind of that nice coat that someone could, a nice warm sweater that someone could put on and feel really taken care of today. So tell us about your book.
Well, my book, Born to Receive, is essentially about finding that balance between what we give and what we receive, so that the energy going out is replenished by energy coming in. And so mindfulness is really a receptive state. It is about replenishing and renewing energy. Born to Receive, I have 7 steps that help people to receive, again, just to bring balance.
So why don't we talk about a few of those steps, and then if someone wants to be in touch with you or purchase your book, they can do that. How does that sound?
That sounds terrific.
Okay, good. So why don't you give us a few steps?
So one of the steps, and I was thinking about this as I was listening to your conversation with Michael, one of the steps I call don't put yourself last or you won't last. And it's really about the idea that you need to include yourself in your relationships, and obviously, especially when you are taking care of somebody, it's really easy to put yourself last because you have somebody with a lot of needs
Yes.
that you need to fulfill, and so it's easy to put you to the side. And one of the things that I talk about is that we need to start thinking about kind of mindfulness, relaxation, being in a quiet, receptive state, not as something that we do between our activities or when we have a little downtime, but that it is its own thing. So just like we need to put gas in a car or it won't run, or eat so we have energy fuel, in the same way, this kind of pedaling down, getting our foot off the accelerator, what it does is help us to not only relax, but in a physical way, we engage the parasympathetic nervous system, kind of the rest and digest, where we have that time to assimilate all of the things that we're doing, the decisions that we're making, so that we can put them into kind of an overall context that can help us make better decisions, not only for the person
Right.
that we are caring for, but also for ourselves.
Perfect. Okay, so was that one step? Because that was long, and
Yes,
I just
that
want to
was-
make sure.
that
Okay,
was-
I just want to make sure I captured the right thing. Okay, so is there another one that that our caregivers could relate to as well?
Yes, I think actually people can relate to all of the steps.
Right, but I'm just trying to get.
yes,
I'm trying to whet
absolutely.
their appetite so that they contact you and purchase your book and get the full flavor of what you do and
Yeah.
and really and connect with what you're saying.
Yes, no, I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, the very first step that I talk about is to pay attention to your feelings and trust your intuition.
Well, that's a big one.
It's a really big one, and I make it the first step because so often we're so busy with our day that we don't really stop and, again, assimilate our experiences or how do I feel about something or somebody or something that has happened. So really talk about kind of accessing feelings. A lot of times with caregivers especially, we might think, well, it's not appropriate to feel angry, or it's not appropriate to feel resentful.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So what we do is we kind of block out those feelings. So kind of what I'm saying is kind of receive these feelings because they have important information for you. I think the fear is that if you feel a feeling that you may have, feel uncomfortable about, you're worried that feeling is just going to kind of move into your house, raid the fridge, unfurl its sleeping bag, and you're never going to get rid of it. Where the reality is that you acknowledge your feelings. You're also acknowledging your humanity, that for the good, the bad, the beautiful, the ugly, we have all of these feelings that we need to process. And by acknowledging them and feeling them, they transform, they give us ideas, they give us information, they help direct some of our decisions. So it's very important to kind of trust your feelings, to acknowledge and recognize them, to receive them, to help you not only with your own life, but in your caregiving duties as well.
If someone wants to purchase your book or connect with you, Amanda, what is the best way for them to do that?
The best way is the book it's a Penguin book, which means it has great distribution. You can get it in any bookstore or online. You can also find out much more information at amandaowen.com or connect with my Facebook page. We usually have a pretty invigorating conversation going on about what receiving has to offer when it's balanced with our giving.
Yep. That sounds wonderful. And I really, I was so I guess, connected to what you were saying and picturing also those times when I was in actively caregiving for my in-laws and those feelings did come up and sometimes they were very uncomfortable. Yeah. And what I would do is I would do some breathing to release them, but then I'd write them down because I didn't want to forget them because maybe I needed to come back and look at that at another time and not react to it because it was so intense at the time. So those are just some other thoughts I had. And we're going to have Michael on next, but we certainly want you to come back to the show. Or maybe what we could do is we could have a three-way conversation where we can have you talking and Michael, and we can all be having a great time. I think that's where I feel the energy popping up for us. What do you think, Michael? Would you be comfortable with that?
Oh, that would be great.
Okay, because I think we're all on the same page and we're just kind of riding the same wave and we kind of help all caregivers out there. So I want all of you to stay. This next segment sponsored by St. Joseph's John Knox Village of Tampa Bay, where your retirement fund begins. I'm Kim Linder. You're listening to the Caregiver Hour on 1250 WINS WHNZ.
From the Simpson Air Studios, this is 1250 WINS WHNZ, Tampa Bay, an iHeart radio station.
You've saved your entire life, so you deserve a retirement that's active and worry-free. Strawberry Ridge is a gated, active adult community offering a host of activities and luxury amenities. Strawberry Ridge is located on State Road 60 in Valrico, close to Tampa in the heart of Central Florida. Stop by for a personal tour. Mention this ad to receive special offers on their newly renovated homes. And visit them online at strawberryridgefla.com. That's strawberryridgefla.com. It's not just a place to live, it's a lifestyle.
Hey, Brandon Rhymes, the real estate quarterback here. I am so proud of all of you who continue to reach out and get advice on your real estate. Look, the housing market has been on a run. Now, maybe you've gained some equity, or maybe you're underwater and you're back to having equity again. Do you know an appraisal on your home costs $500? You probably know that. You bought a home. You had to pay it before, even if it was mixed in your closing cost. If you want to refinance, you got to get a $500 appraisal. We have a limited time offer that we can do for 10 listeners today only. 10 listeners are going to get a free property valuation valuation, learn what the value of your home is, and learn what options you have. Whether it's refinancing, moving up into a bigger, better home, if you just text the word value, I'm going to give you a free property valuation. Text the word value to 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894. And never forget, no matter what your real estate or finance question is, I am here to help you. I am here to build Tampa Bay's real estate market one listener at a time. RealestateRadioTampa.com.
Need AC? Call Simpson Air, the coolest guys in town. Log on to thecoolestguys.com.
This report brought to you by Florida Department of Transportation, AlertTodayFlorida.com. In Florida, 1 in every 4 traffic fatalities involve a pedestrian. Drivers, stop or yield for pedestrians and bicyclists. Pedestrians, always use a crosswalk. Bicyclists, obey all traffic laws. Alert today, alive tomorrow. A message from the Florida Department of Transportation.
From the Bright House Network's Traffic Center, I still have a crash on the left shoulder of the ramp from northbound 275 to Kennedy Boulevard. An accident northbound I-75 at County Road 41 is all off to the side. There's a crash in Tampa on Armenia at Erna Drive, a wreck on Causeway at 50th Street, and an accident blocking the intersection of Belcher and Alderman. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Udowick Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line at 866-545-9595.
1250 winds, Weather Center forecast. Those highs today getting into the mid-70s. See a few upper 70s in the warmer spots inland and to the south. Right now it's 70 Brandon, Tampa 68, Clearwater 66 degrees, and Bradenton 69. Plenty of sunshine today, maybe a little bit of haze, a few passing clouds. That's about it, though. Lows tonight, mid-upper 70s. We'll see upper 70s near 80 for a high Tuesday. Then back into the mid-lower 70s Wednesday. Cloud cover, rainy, 60% chance, and that'll give us a cooler end of the week. Wall Street markets are down today. Dow off 67, Nasdaq red 8, the S&P index down 4, down to 16,385. 1250 wins, WHNZ.
The Caregiver Hour on 1250 wins, WHNZ. It's about taking care of yourself while you take care of others. Here's your host, Kim Linder.
Hello, everyone, and happy Monday. I'm Kim Linder, your host of the Caregiver Hour radio show. And just to give you a little bit of a recap, we have 2 wonderful guests on our show today, and it's called The Positive Effects of Mindfulness, which is so wonderful for caregivers. This is a tool you want to have with you all the time as you are caregiving, and or even when you're not caregiving. This is just because I have a lot of people who listen to me that are not caregivers at all, but just love the show. So wherever you are in your life, mindfulness can definitely be a positive tool for you to have. And our guests are Amanda Owen, author of Born to Receive, and Michael Whalen, counselor, coach, and consultant at Mindful Solutions here in the Tampa Bay area. If you have any questions for us, you can call us toll-free while the show is live at 1-877-897-8255, or you can send us a note on iChat while you are watching us live web stream, which is very exciting. So even if you listen to the show, sometimes you may want to go on the weekend and actually watch us, or you can do it after work or just when you have time. We are here for you 24/7, and we have this wonderful helpline that's here for you for any kind of question for caregivers. If something is going on, suddenly you got the call that your mom is at the hospital, or there's a rehab center and now they want to have a meeting with you for a care plan and you're not sure what that all means, or you want to talk to an elder law attorney, make sure all your paperwork is in order, or you want a home care company to come in while your mother is or father is being discharged from the hospital. These are the questions that we love to answer, and that toll-free number is 1-877-552-4950. So let's go back to the show, and we have Amanda Owen, who is not here in our studio, but we have Michael Whalen, who is. So, Michael, let's continue this conversation that we started with Amanda. Do you have some thoughts that you would like to add to what she just said?
Sure. I'd like to pick up on what Amanda was saying about paying attention to our feelings, because once again, what we're talking about is paying attention to our body.
Right.
Way back when Descartes said, "I think, therefore I am," and what happened to everything from our neck down? it sort of disappeared in our culture, right?
Because it was all in the mind, right?
Yeah,
On the
but
head.
the ancients believed that the center of our being was really in our heart,
Yes,
or in our gut,
right.
And physiologically, what's there is a mass of ganglia, a mass of nerve endings that are giving us this information. Mm-hmm. And what Amanda was saying is paying attention to that information. What it takes is for us to be quiet. This is very subtle kind of information. Our minds are very busy and they can be very loud, but our feelings can be very quiet. Mm-hmm. And we have so much overlaying with what's going on in our mind, the mind chatter, the marketing, everything that's happening to distract us from what we're feeling, that it's really important to set aside time and to take those moments, or to just take those moments during the day to connect. And my recommendation...
Just do like a check-in?
A little check-in.
Like, how am I feeling today?
Yeah, how am I feeling
moment?
right this moment? Right. Or what is happening?
Right.
And really being mindful of the breath is a great way to do it. It's kind of like a road sign. So I'm taking a breath and I'm noticing what's happening all around me. We consist of sensations, images, feelings, and thoughts. And becoming aware, becoming mindful opens us up to being aware of all of that, sifting through SIFT, sensations, images, thoughts, and feelings.
That sounds like something you teach at your workshop.
It is a little bit of something that I teach at the workshops. That's right.
So, Amanda, did you want to reply to that or add something to it?
Yes. I mean, I love what you're saying, Michael, and just that taking those moments. You know, I guess what I want to say is that we must value what, kind of reducing stress, breathing, and being quiet. We must value that. Otherwise, it becomes like something else to put on our to-do list. But when we value what those kind of downtimes, those relaxation times, those mindful times have to offer us and get used to doing it, what it does is pulls us away from kind of being stress junkies. It's very easy to kind of just ride that runaway train of stress. So this is really about, I think, consciously making another choice and giving yourself enough time so that you begin to receive the benefits of being mindful. Once you start receiving those benefits, you really don't go back to this old way of life where everything is about this kind of multitasking mayhem.
You know, you mentioned benefits, and I think, I think that's a good word, and people cue into that. Are there benefits? Why don't you share with our caregivers what the benefits would be, just as an example? Because one of your questions is, what's the best advice for caregivers who are struggling to find time, energy, and balance in their lives? So if they do mindfulness in this question, what would be the benefit? The benefits are going to be directly to reduce your suffering, to make you happier, to make you healthier. It is natural for oneself, for the body, the mind, the emotions. It's natural to replenish and renew in equal proportion to what you give out and what you do. So really what we're talking about here is falling into your natural state, which is going to have immediate benefits in a better outlook in life, feeling more emotionally connected to other people and fulfilled, and to feel happier overall. So I could see someone who's not used to this jargon that we're using, that happened to tune in today, loves the show. Let's see what's going on for Kim today. And they're hearing mindfulness, and they're like, what is this all about? And what is Amanda and Michael talking about? So we need to make it very applicable to their situation. Mm-hmm. So I'm hearing the benefits are less stress, more balanced, more joy. But they're wondering, how does that happen how does mindfulness bring all that good stuff? I don't know if they can, they'll definitely get that connection. And because I practice it, I get it, but I want our listeners who are maybe people who've never heard of that term to be able to get it so they can get the benefit. So, Michael, can you give us an example maybe of how that could work? Or Maybe just your own example, maybe.
Well, I'll give you an example. I think that might be easy to understand. So, what is the difference? Imagine the difference between going to a fast food restaurant, getting the drive-in, unwrapping whatever it is that you've gotten, and eating it while you're driving with the radio on, somebody in the seat next to you, and think about what it is that you would actually taste as you were eating that sandwich. Okay,
not much.
Not much,
No.
right? So you're really
I'm in a hurry. I'm in a hurry, and I'm juggling.
Right, and we're just kind of shoving it down, so to speak, right? And the difference between being with your family and having something on the stove and smelling the aromas and conversing with people and then sitting down and really tasting this meal. So there's a big difference there. And so what mindfulness does, obviously we're not going to be able to sit down and have a beautiful gourmet meal with all of our friends and relatives all the time. That's a great wish. But what if we were able to take that same hamburger and find a way to really taste it as we were eating it, to make choices in the moment, to turn off the radio, to pull over for a second, to engage our children or whoever is in the chair next to us and talk to them and look at them and listen to them, rather than allowing this rush to go on by us without trying to catch the moment. And that's what we're trying to do, is catch the moment. But it's a practice. It's not something that comes easily. It's simple. Paying attention to the breath, paying attention to the moment is a really simple kind of practice. But it's not that easy because it does take practice. We don't start playing a concerto the first day that we start playing the piano. Right? So we're not going to be mindful all the time when we have the intention to be mindful. That's a very big piece of it. But really, setting aside some time every day or throughout the day with the intention of practicing mind. That's the hard part. The hard part is reminding ourselves to be mindful. That's the hard part.
So, Amanda, I thought that was a great analogy. Thank you. Amanda, did you have something you wanted to add to that?
Yes, I love, Michael, I love that example.
Yeah.
And I think that the doorway through the five senses, they automatically connect you to that kind of relaxation, to engage in the parasympathetic nervous system, to kind of pedal down.
Yep.
And I think that what most people could relate to is when you see something beautiful, when you watch, for example, a beautiful sunset, the feeling that you get as you are watching that sunset. And if we use the visual sense, and even if you are sitting inside, which is just to kind of look around your room, observe, which is a receptive state, just to kind of watch, what you're doing is energy is coming towards you instead of energy leaving you. So you're kind of filling up your senses, and this is something that you can do every day, anywhere you are, when you're on hold on the phone, when you're at a red light, when you're driving. Just like Michael was saying, it's kind of making a choice. Stress is a choice. And I think that people need to understand that you can disengage from the radio on, from talking, being on your phone, to instead engage your senses, or as I call, come to your senses, which is to hear, to listen, to watch, to taste, to smell, and allow that to fill you up. And this becomes a way to recharge yourself, to be in the moment, and to be receptive and relaxed with what is going on with your life.
Amanda, that's exactly where I wanted you to take us. So you did that perfectly. We have,
Thank you.
You're very welcome. And it all happened organically here on the Caregiver Hour radio show. I love it. So we're going to have a break, and then we're going to come back. And so stay with us. I'm Kim Linder. You're listening to the Caregiver Hour on 1250 WINS WHNZ. Hi, Hi, it's Kim Linder from the Caregiver Hour. I want to tell you about an attorney in Clearwater that I have known for over 7 years. His name is Bill Rambaum, and I have referred many families to him for his legal expertise. Bill is one of less than 100 attorneys to be evaluated by the Florida Bar and become certified as a specialist in elder law. His 30 years of experience and impeccable credentials make him one of the most highly regarded legal experts in our area. Give Bill a call today at 727-781-5357 or visit rambaumlaw.com. Non-attorney spokesperson.
If you or a loved one experience bladder control problems, here's important news.
For more than 5 years now, the nice ladies at the Caregiver Partnership have taken the time to understand my needs, suggest the best choices of bladder control products for me, and always get the right product delivered to my door fast and with free shipping.
To get started, simply call 800-985-1353 for your free catalog and $60 in coupons. Many people just like you trust the Caregiver Partnership for convenient home delivery of bladder control products, and they have more than 500 to choose from. Call now. The call is free, shipping is free, and your satisfaction is guaranteed.
The Caregiver Partnership treats me like family and really knows their stuff, and they keep my business private.
Call 1-800-985-1353 now to receive your free catalog with $60 in coupons. That's 1-800-985-1353. Call now. The voice in the preceding advertisement is not the voice of an actual customer.
Caregiving has gotten harder and more complicated, even as families have more and more demands on their time. That's why AARP is here to help caregivers with the tools, information, and support they need to care for their loved ones and themselves. Check out aarp.org/caregiving to connect with other caregivers like yourself and find the resources you need. Visit the AARP Caregiver Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
Caring for an elderly parent or a loved one with special needs can be challenging, stressful, and frustrating. If you need help finding the best professionals in the field of home care, legal advice, integrated practitioners, respite care, or a great support group, call the Caregiver Helpline at 1-877-552-4950. That's 1-877-552-4950. It's a free service provided by the Caregiver Resource Network. Call 1-877-552-4950 or go to thecaregiverhour.com.
At CareMinders Home Care, we know life at home is the key to maintaining your independence. We offer a full range of services to meet your individual needs, including personal care or assistance with daily activities. Our registered nurse will prepare a customized care plan for you and visit you regularly to make sure your needs are being met. You have a choice in home care. Discover the CareMinders difference. Call us today at 727-330-7804 for a free assessment with our registered nurse. Again, that's 727-330-7804.
It's the Caregiver Hour on 1250 Wins WHNZ with encouragement, guidance, and support for caregivers. Here's your host, Kim Linder.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Caregiver Hour radio show. We hope that this show has really brought some mindfulness and peacefulness and joyfulness into your life today. We still have another segment to go, and I'm just so thrilled that this next segment, which is called Circling Back to the Caregiver, is brought to you by CareMinders Home Care, your comfort, our responsibility. We've got wonderful sponsors on our website, and I have really met these sponsors, and I've checked them out, meaning I've spent time with them. I've known them for at least 5 years, and these are companies that I have my stamp of saying these are people for you to consider. We always give you the option to do your due diligence. Even if I have a sponsor on my website or a guest here, you still want to do your own checking out to make sure that it's right for you. But I'm letting you know that I've also done the homework, and I also believe in the people who are part of this radio show and also part of Caregiver Resource Network. And I say this because it might help you cut some of your time of looking at other resources, checking out 5 different assisted living places or 10 different home care companies. There's so much happening here in the Tampa Bay area because there are so many seniors that live here and caregivers that I just try to do some of that homework for you. And that's all connected through the Caregiver Resource Helpline. That toll-free number again is 1-877-552-4950. I have my newsletter coming out. It's been crazy for me. So in all honesty, I have my February, March newsletter. I combined them because I could not get it done in February. Yes, I'm human just like all of us, all of you. It's just sometimes I just could not get it done because I write it from my heart. And so I have that newsletter coming out, and it's really a great one. And if you want to connect with us, you can go to our website, thecaregiverhour.com, and there's an area for you to connect with us and say, yes, you would like the newsletter. Yes, you would like our announcements of who's going to be on the show each week. So that's another good way for us to connect if you don't feel like calling us right now. I want to also let you know that I do have an event coming up at the end of the month. It's What's in Your Caregiver's First Aid Kit. It's about relaxing, laughing, and sharing at the 8th Annual Caregivers Conference. And that's going to be on Saturday, March 29th. It's on my website, so all you have to do is go to thecaregiverhour.com and look under events, and it's right there. It's located at Suncoast Hospice in St. Petersburg, and the time is from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., and I will be their guest speaker. So if you're, again, looking for information, resources, and guidance, this is the place to be. You want to mark it on your calendar, and I'll be thrilled to see you there as well. I want to come back to Amanda Owen, author of Born to Receive, and Michael Whalen, who is a counselor, coach, and consultant in Mindful Solutions. Michael, let's pick up that conversation we just had. It was so powerful.
Sure. One of the things I think is really important to understand about mindfulness, like Amanda was saying, and relaxation, is that it is our natural state. Relaxing and being in the parasympathetic nervous system, the relaxed part of the nervous system, is really our natural state. It's balanced with that stress response, the sympathetic nervous system, which is the fight or flight response. That we talk so much about stress, I think that we forget that, and we're exposed to so much stress.
I think you're absolutely right, and I feel that like in my stomach, like when you're talking. Mm-hmm. I know as caregivers, that's how we feel it. We're always under stress. We're always concerned. Mm-hmm. We don't know that the natural state is relaxation. Mm-hmm. We feel that it has to be intense. Mm-hmm. It has to be constant. Mm-hmm. There's no let up. Mm-hmm. So teach us how to do that.
Well, and that can become, as Amanda was saying, that can become almost addictive. We're addicted to that adrenaline rush. Yeah. So really, to get away from that is to create the intention to be more mindful, be more relaxed, take a breath, but also to set it. I believe that it's important to set aside time. And I know that's hard.
Yes.
And but even 10 minutes, mm-hmm. even 10 minutes a day of paying attention to your breath, or just noticing the sensations in your body. Even if you're paying attention to the sound stream, the sounds that we're hearing, and just paying attention to that will awaken your awareness to more and more of what's going around you. Pay attention to what you're eating. And that's what we do in class. In class, what we do is we explore each of these modalities every week. And through the 7 weeks, we'll do a walking meditation. We'll do mindful eating. We do inner dialogue. And with that, we also have small group dyads where after you do these things, you'll talk about the practice. And so you'll have time, the very important time for reflection, to assimilate the information and the experience that you're having in the classes and throughout the week as you're practicing this. So the goal through the classes is to change what is a state. So if I'm meditating, I'm relaxing, I'm in a state of relaxation. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So what I want to do is change that state to a trait. And the research is showing us, wonderful research, over 2,000 articles on mindfulness.
Right. We were just talking, we had that conversation about the Time magazine having it on their front cover.
Fantastic,
yes.
Right? So now it's coming into the popular
mainstream.
Mainstream, yeah. Mm-hmm. But the brain changes are very, very powerful, but you have to practice it on a regular basis, just like any habit, in order to make it a part of a trait that you carry with you all the time, so that when you do take that breath, when you are aware of the moment, you can have that as part of who you are. It really becomes more a part of who you are. It's just really coming to the surface. It's allowing it to
Right.
come to the surface.
I love that. And it also, I would think it would be great in tune with Tai Chi or yoga.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. We do. Yeah. Actually, those are forms of mindfulness or
Yes.
mindful practices. Absolutely.
Okay. Amanda, you're up. What would you like to say now?
Well, first, I wish everybody lived in Florida and could take Michael's class. Gonna have to package you up and
I
take
know.
you on the road.
I was getting the
because-
visual when you said that. I
Well, we
want to
can
take
read
his
your
class.
book.
Yeah.
Even though we're in Florida.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
It sounds lovely, and it really strikes me as well that even for people who are not taking care of somebody, I mean, really, what we're talking about is a good practice and a reminder for everybody. I know a lot of people who are stress junkies, and they're not caring for somebody. They're just so used
Yes.
to their days being filled with stress and being busy and distracted. And of course, when you're busy and distracted, you're not present, and in fact, you're not really noticing anything. And that means that you're that you don't have a sense of appreciation or gratitude. You have to notice something to be grateful for it. And we talk a lot about gratitude. It's certainly a receptive state and a mindful state. But this busyness and distraction, it just simply removes you from your life in a very profound way, and that obviously is not going to help the person that you are taking care of. And
Right.
that's a reality, and I think something for people to think about.
It really is, and we so appreciate you being with us today, Amanda. Please let us know,
you.
how do we get in touch with you if we would like to purchase a book or have a conversation with you?
I'm at amandaowen.com, and from there you can find me on Facebook, sign up for a newsletter. You can find my book in any bookstore or Amazon, of course.
That's great.
Easy to find.
Terrific. And author of Born to Receive. And I am very grateful that you sent me my book. So I just want to let you know the gratitude of receiving
You're welcome.
your beautiful writing and thoughts. And Michael, thank you so much as well. Tell us how someone
thank
could be
you.
in touch with you and maybe go to one of your workshops.
Okay, great. People can call me, 727-341-9397. Or they can contact me through my website, which is www.michaelwhalenlmhc.wordpress.com. michaelwhalenlmhc.wordpress.com. And they can send me an email or contact me through there. And I'd be really, really pleased to tell them about the classes or
really
set
wanna
up
check that
individual
out.
sessions
Yes.
as well.
So I'm interested in taking the class, but then I also want to talk to you about the New Age of Caregiving Symposium that's happening on Friday, November 21st, because wouldn't that be fabulous to have everyone in a mindful state as they go through that day? So
Fantastic.
we're going to stay connected to that message. I want to just again thank so many of our sponsors, but one of them is Brookdale Grand Court of Tampa. Grand Court of Tampa offers both independent assisted living options on beautiful Bayshore Boulevard in Tampa. All you have to do is call 866-562-7060. Have a beautiful week and try some of these things that we talked about today, the mindfulness way. And let me know how it goes for you. I'm Kim Linder, your host of the Caregiver Hour. See you next Monday.
The opinions, viewpoints, and promises made during the preceding program are not those of WHN.